Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Software Inc. episode number 5. So far we've gotten our company started with its first software. Oh, off camera I did add some tile and some wallpaper to the bathroom. I was actually debating about going with a red to make the urgency of getting out of the restroom apparent, because it is very important that you get back to work ASAP. Yeah, okay, let's just go with that. It's not the most attractive color perhaps, but it gets the job done. So in this episode, what we're going to do is try to get some education done and hire the rest of our team and set ourselves up well to develop our next software. So this is really about gathering the A-team together, you know? Let's get the team back together. So, not really back together because they haven't been together yet, but the first thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to try to take a contract. I don't know if I need to, but basically Tortuga's kind of, he's stuck in this zone where if I don't give him anything to do, he'll spend the entire day basically doing nothing. I don't think we have time to finish any of the contracts, unfortunately, because even mediocre contracts do take a reasonable amount of time. I'm going to bump this up to number 2, so hopefully Tortuga can plow through it without helping with marketing at all. I don't really know how the priorities work precisely. I'm assuming that 2 is just higher than 1, and that means 100% will be dedicated to this and 0 to this, but my experience with doing the marketing this way was that Tortuga still worked on marketing even if it was 1 and the design thing was 2, so I'm not sure. Maybe there's like a ratio thing that like 90% goes to this, and maybe if I do it twice, then, I don't know, 99% goes to this. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, we'll set it up to 3 because this is what Tortuga should be working on. And she has already been, Mary May has already been set to marketer. So she shouldn't be working on anything but marketing. So hopefully that keeps her out of this. Although I wouldn't even mind. The only reason why I don't want her to work on this is just because I don't want her to get better at anything but marketing. She may actually start demanding a raise. She actually already thinks that her ideal salary should be higher because she's already worked here and gotten a little bit better at her job. But if we can keep her only doing marketing and keep all the rest of the skills down, that actually prevents her from asking for too high of a raise, especially because marketing is the second lowest paying besides artist. So really, marketers and artists are really what you don't want to get better at other stuff if you want to just have them specialize and you don't want them to ask for raises. Now, I'm always talking about money as if it's something that really matters. It's kind of a nice point to optimize over, although again, currently it's not really necessary. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and work on our contract, and we're going to do that, of course, by doing all these silly million games. Ooh, we can create a big circle there. Okay, 2 to 1 to 1 to 1. See, I don't think we're going to finish this by the end of the day. Oh my god, a 4. That was uncalled for. Okay. What? Well, maybe. I forgot. Let me actually try to min-max this a little bit because I'm trying to get this done by 6. His programming is really about the same as his design. Actually, his designing is a little bit better, so let's spend a little bit more time on this rather than just try to get like one more group of things out. Like so. Okay, let's do it. Now we'll develop this. Yeah, that did take another hour. I don't think we're going to get there in time, which means it's a good thing that we did not send Tortuga out to do something. But I think this is going to work out well, so in another 2 months we should be able to get him educated. Right now, I don't think we're going to make this deadline. Obviously, we're not now because it's already 5:30. What we'll do is we'll just begin a new contract. This is a little bit insane, so we'll have 2 contracts we're finishing tomorrow. But that's okay. So we won't finish this one early, but it will be ready for Tortuga to do first thing tomorrow morning. And actually, we'll have another contract pulled up and hopefully gone through most of this stuff as soon as the new contracts spawn at midnight. So we'll just get this one. I think the better job you do in this stage, the less time you have to spend in delay and in beta, which would make sense. I'm just going to avoid that long word because I think we're going to finish before we need it. Perfect. So we'll promote this, and we can't do the delay phase until Tortuga comes back. Obviously, we're not going to educate him now because we need him to finish this project, so just go until midnight, yeah, so as expected, she wants a raise. I don't even know why. I guess she just got a little bit better at marketing, but sure, go ahead. Take your raise, see if I care. How did we do last month? Actually, we'd lost quite a bit in terms of sales. Take a drink of my tea here. Doesn't look like our marketing is paying off as much as I was hoping it would, actually. But we have to remember, the marketing is less about the money and more about just getting our name out there, so having a higher reputation. So in that case, it's fine. We will take another contract, which will make Tortuga having a very busy day. Let's see if there's a bad one. Oh, horrible. Okay, well, this is a no-brainer. Definitely take this. This one should be finished almost before, I mean, I'm assuming about the time we come in. So we'll just have these guys finish a few of these jobs today. Oh, it's a nice chain. Now you're only giving me ones, huh? Yeah, so 3 a.m. And then we start hiring our new team, I guess. Oh, we're way over where we need to be. Oh god, I picked a... That's, I mean, we're already killing it. Probably don't need this crazy of a thing. It's good, let's develop this. It's already 7:20, so actually we should have developed this a little bit ago. So this will set to priority number 2. So 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, knock at the door. Let's go ahead and type this one out. So we're coming into work. Actually, I do want to pay attention to one thing. Did he get his coffee already? She's going to get her coffee. I've noticed that when they go to get their coffee, Tortuga, sometimes Mary May will go get the coffee here. So let me pause. Assign furniture. Good, so this is owned by Tortuga. I didn't want to have to do that, but what I've seen a few times is Mary May will come over and take the coffee from here, which means that actually Tortuga will walk all the way over here. And that is unacceptable. We could probably also stand to hire the cleaning people. How are our computers doing? Oh, they're doing fine. Okay, good. So let's back to the typing game. About the typing game, I know that it does slow down this, like the YouTube series. So I will be stopping it. Also, you don't need to keep doing it. I'm actually doing it way longer than... Well, actually, I'm not sure. This is probably about the right time. Okay, we're doing great. So this one's just about to be released, and then we can let Tortuga work on the next delay. She's just doing her marketing thing. It's pretty good. Actually, and off camera, I was kind of looking at our status. I was very disappointed by, despite the fact that our software is like supposedly rated great, we only have 364 users. And the main reason I was getting upset about this is, how the hell does Lettermate Studio 4 have 10,500 active users? Take a look at their... Whoops, that's mine. Alright, so we'll leave this up, sure. I guess my reputation is going up slowly, that's good. Maybe I'm just not well established yet, but if we look at... These guys have 10,000 units sold already in their first... I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. How did they do that? I want to know because I would like to duplicate what they've done. Anyway, so we made ours unavoidable and great. Theirs is great, unavoidable. And that means that I feel like we should have been comparable. They're also using Tiger OS 3. And this is the really strange thing for me. They have 10,500 active users. Let's go to the operating system that they're operating under. They are using Tiger OS 3, which has 10,700 people. And they are, like, that's just insane. That means about 99% of the people who use this operating system also buy this Office product. It just seems, like, just insane. I'm using 2 operating systems, which nobody else has an Office tool software thing for. With a combined user base of, a little bit under 4 million. And only 364 people want to use my Office product? There's no alternative. Does not bode well for our company. It must be our reputation. It's just, they must imagine that installing our software is tantamount to putting a virus on their computer. If it's the only one and they still won't buy it. That's alright. We'll get there one day. I just found that pretty amusing. That they'd rather use nothing than ours. Okay, so we released that one. That one was good. This one will be released. And then I guess we will have Tortuga chill out for the rest of the day because really nothing else we can have him do. There's no way we'll finish another contract in time. So I do want to see how these contracts turned out. This one was on time, no bugs. This one was a month early and no bugs. These things are helping our... You can see our business reputation is just about to 2 stars now. And that's good. But I do want to educate Tortuga because what's going to happen is we want to start, like I said, hiring our A team, our design team. The core design team, which is going to be part of whatever next development we're going to do. And I think that our next one will be exactly what we passed up on our last decision making about which software to build. Let's do the CMS financial because that category is still pretty weak, although there has been a development. I also looked. There has been a development in that. Unfortunately, the new software release was pretty good for financial. So you can see that Bank 8, it's really going to be a tough competitor for us. But we can just choose to provide a different feature list. And I think that should help us. Again, the good thing about these is that they don't require any licenses. I mean, we might actually need a license for a 2D editor for financial. I don't think we want to get into workflow. That's pretty saturated with quality products. Okay, so we're just about to finish. Speed this up a little bit. Yeah, we actually want to, come on, get him. There it is. I do want to educate him though. So we want him to learn how to be a better leader. We're going to have him spend 3 months training to be a leader, which hopefully will help him quite significantly. Which means basically our marketing lady is going to be running the office solo for a couple months, which is fine. You know, we're just building that reputation up slowly but steadily. While they're gone tonight, I might as well just call everything. Who cares? And pop to the next day. Tortuga will be gone now for 2 more months. Today and 2 more days. So Mary May has the run of the office. I could right now actually hire a programmer and a designer, and they could start working on the projects, contracts, just to get their skill up a little bit. We could also start training them to develop them to be better. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so if I want to hire them, I think I have to hire them before midnight for them to be coming in the next day. Let's do a quick test real fast. Let's hire 2 different people. Let's hire one at like 11:30. And then let's hire another at 12:05, because I haven't done this explicitly. I haven't like exactly figured out what's the pattern of when people come in when you hire them. I believe this is the case. So the reason why I want my person to be a leader is because leaders have the highest salaries. Then followed by designers. Then followed by programmers. Then you have marketers, which I guess are somehow higher than artists. Poor artist. Forever poor. So anyways, I don't want to hire a leader. That's why I want to make myself a leader, because it'll save us the most amount of money. Obviously, Tortuga doing something for free has the best payoff when the thing he's doing for free costs the most amount of money. So we're going to need a designer eventually, and at this point we're already getting to the stages where I want quality personnel. The only thing I want them to interview for, though, is personality. Because I want their compatibility to be very high, and I can choose... Now this costs another $2,000. Actually, running this on an individual person costs $100. So if we say we want to spend another $2,000 figuring out overall skill of everyone, that's the same as us being able to just individually click on 20 people. And then with those 20 people, we'll be able to find out, it's just, that's more than we're going to need to be able to do. In fact, we're going to find out overall skill and specialization. So we'll probably only end up clicking on maybe like 6 people. And that means that it's going to be 200 for both of these. It's only 1,200 to find out everything. I just want to filter first by personality and like their overall skill. But these are very important to look at, just not initially. So the designer, what should his specialization be? I guess let's do it in system, since Tortuga is already a good designer of 2D. Okay, so let's begin looking. Sorting by skill. Oh my gosh, this is quite a poor group here. Now, one important thing is normally when you look at the skill, so this is 78%. This is actually a pretty terrible list. I'm just going to look again. There we go. This is a lot better. Much, much, much better. Okay, so this person obviously has very poor design skills in 2D, but I really like it when they only have designer stuff. Okay, programming is always useful for designers. I think designers and programming can be interchanged a little bit, but we just have to hire this person. Great compatibility, generous, extrovert, I like that. And high skill, they have very high system specialization. Just like everything about this person. Just to give us a basis of comparison, let's just check at the second highest. So we can see that actually Donnie, so Noreen is pretty much better overall, but Donnie is much better at the 2D specialization. Although, is that better or worse in audio? Yeah, worse. So Donnie's main thing that he lends himself to is being better at 2D. And those are probably the two we're going to use the most. He's a flirt and dramatic. I don't really know how these personalities work out. I don't really know the rock, paper, scissors dynamic there, but I just trust that great means great. So we will hire Noreen. Great, so now we have a designer, and that will help us with our... We'll start a contract tomorrow, because I'm sure that this person will come by tomorrow. Now we can speed up time a little bit. And let's hire another person who will be our programmer. Again, get that salary pretty high up there. Increase the cost to increase the quality. Alright, so we have a Janine Rivera. She has good compatibility. We'll check the good and the great. Wow. At first I thought we were looking at design. I was like, that's terrible specialization. But no, over here. And we also did it for system, which was kind of a mistake. Actually, it's just fine. We're probably going to hire two different programmers. One for system and one for audio. I actually like this person. They have a pretty decent 2D. But again, let's just always get a basis of comparison. Oh, wow. So this person's specializations are just trash. Not only that, but Carol happens to be 54 years old. My way of looking at hiring people is if they're under 40, I don't care. I'll hire anybody. I almost have, like, the age is the least of the weighting factors. Above 40 to 50, I will use it as a way of possibly, if there's somebody who's younger, I'll go with them. So if there's like one person who's 31, one person who's 43, I'll favor the one who's a little bit younger. But over 50, I usually start to straight up turn them away. Like even if they're a promising candidate, I might just look again. That's because of this umbrella thing, which although we don't have yet, I will dump some more money into our umbrella thing. We don't have that much money to dump, but this makes everyone feel a little more secure. It's like insurance and all that. So Janine, I think that you just have the job. Yeah, I think we're just gonna hire you. That's a great... Oh, wait, her compatibility is only good. I didn't realize that. I thought it was great. Oh, she's mean and optimistic. It's a little unfortunate. I still think that she's a good hire, so let's do it. Great, and now let's see who comes in at the beginning of the day. Oh, we, gosh, are stupid. I haven't gotten a place for this person to work yet. So we have a computer here. We will eventually attach like a calculator or something. Oh, yeah. By the way, I figured out what this thing is. So it's complaining about the windows because actually if you have too much surface area, which is window, it's actually bad. I didn't realize this. So now we can see there's no complaint in the middle because I have walled off this part of the office, which is fine to me. And you know what? I don't really care. I think it looks better if it's like this. And there's still a little bit of window above. So there it is. Enjoy your new workspace. In fact, we need a light in there. And I will say that I choose these little lamp things because they're supposed to add more room. So we can see over here, it's going to show us lighting and environment. So it has less lighting, but more environment than just the ceiling lamp. But in this busy office, I'm not going to care. In fact, let's put it dead center if we can. And we can. There, so Tortuga now has a lamp right above his head, which is, that's my preferred working conditions. I do not like side light like this. Unless you're working on something that you are writing very close to your desk, It's my office setup is that I have a lamp like this, but overhead lighting is always preferred. I don't know if it's always preferred by everyone, but from my experience with the people I've talked to, it's preferred. So we'll call that probably everyone else's experience based on my sample size, my sample population. Good, so we have lighting in here, and we solved that window problem. Now I have to go back to build mode because I forgot to do what I set out to do, which was to get a new desk set up. In fact, we don't want this desk here. We want to move them a little bit closer, and I actually want to copy this over here as well. Great, and then whoever chooses to sit in whichever desk, I will start assigning them the proper productivity tools. Also, did we ever get, we did get a clock in here. Oh yeah, it's probably time for us to build a door to the other bathrooms, and actually we need to copy this as well. So let's copy, wait, this, duplicate over here. Might as well just open up all three. If we're gonna have 3 employees, I mean, Murphy's Law states that if we don't get all 3 doors now, they will all 3 have to go to the bathroom at the same time. So to prevent that, we will just buy this, and now we know that no employee will ever have to use the restroom when another one does, because that's the way Murphy's Law can prove to us that putting in those extra doors was a futile endeavor. Good old Murphy's Law. So I think we're all set. And the big question here is, will the second person even come in? And I'm not sure. I have my doubts. Clock in here. I'm going to duplicate the clock in here. Eventually, we will have a use for the more clocks, so that no matter which side of the room you're looking, you have a clock telling you how much time you're wasting looking at the clock. Very good. All right, so let's see who comes in. Aha, so it is true. And who are you? You are my, I think you're my designer. No. Person. Yes, you're my designer. So let's go ahead and fix Noreen up here with some kind of project as well. We'll get a contract in a second. I should have been working on that since the beginning of the morning, but that's fine. Actually, we can just leave her. No. I would rather her do nothing than her do marketing, because I don't want her to get better at marketing. And she'll start asking for higher money and yada yada. So let's see. Okay, first of all, I'm going to have her take this furniture. So now that's now owned by her. So if I move this around, she will move to the place where I have set her desk, which is nice. Noise reduction very high. We'll see if they start bothering each other though. And what was the last thing I was trying to do? Oh yeah, we need productivity. So she's a designer. We need a designer. Which one of these is the designer? I think it can be 2. It can be this one, the drawing tablet, which I don't think either of these help programming very much. Or it can be the inbox. So it depends on whether we want to like substantially boost artist and minorly improve programmer, or if we want to improve marketing a little bit. This is, I think, going to depend a little bit on her current skill set. Does she have any kind of art? She does. You know what? So because she has a little bit of art already, we'll allow her to use the tablet. And that should now be just incorporated with this computer. So she now owns that, and she will follow this computer and that tablet wherever I place it. Very good. So let's give her a project to do, because right now she's just doing nothing. Man, I picked the worst time. Oh, horrible. I think even our dear Noreen here. Janine Rivera is designing McStreet Carrot Ltd, but is not confident with design work. Wait a second. She's our designer. Also, we don't have a Janine. This Janine person, I think that's the programmer, but she's not currently working here. Well, whatever. Shouldn't take very long. We're already doubled. But I do want to get a little further on this side so that we have to do less work on the other one. Basically, I know that we are a good designer, so let's try to maximize the amount of work we put into the design aspect. And now the gardeners are coming. Fantastic. Okay, let's develop this. We might be able to finish it by today still. Oh yeah, look at that. We managed, because we did all the work in design, this shouldn't take very long at all for us to get this. And look how slow it's moving, even though I think that's enough. Okay, I see green. Promote. So stop doing weird things and get to work. Very good. We are going to finish this by today, which means you probably started developing a small amount of programming, and it's not noticeable here. So good. This is going to be released, and we managed to keep up with our good contract. So this is the interesting thing. You can see her productivity. She's stressed. Now, this is the interesting thing, and the reason why I will go to offices eventually. I cannot figure out what is the cause of this stress. Environment is high. Lighting is not negative. Room aura is positive. Everything is good except for stress. And I don't know if stress is just something that she's going to, just acquire as she goes along about her day. Because, look, I mean, hey, can I make you feel any better? Can I give you this nice little drought-friendly cactus by your desk? Everyone gets one. You get one, and you get one. There. That's good, facing the right way. Is that cactus gonna make you any less stressed? I really don't think so. The problem is that as her stress level goes up, which I guess is left, her effectiveness goes down. It doesn't matter right now. We don't need her to do a good job with marketing. But can I like send her home or something? I'm just not very aware of my options here. And I'm also very much not aware of what is causing this stress. So if anybody knows, is it just because that they're working in the same room? Because we have this noise reduction of pretty much 87%. It's about 90% noise reduction, which means that you'd assume stress increase should be really, really minor. And Mary May's stress is not going up at all. It must be personality related. Let's find out. So she is where's your traits? Optimist, extrovert. Okay, before you go home, what are you? A generous extrovert. They're both, come on, that's like the same person. They should get along fine. She's going though. Now the big question is, does her stress level go down overnight? Because if I only have to deal with her stress getting up to 78%, or getting her effectiveness going down to 78%, then I'm okay with this. I mean, we're gonna have to deal with another person in the next day, but I don't think her stress is going to go down. If she shows up to work the next day stressed out from the day before, that is a problem. My ideas. What are like the possibilities as I see them? I think it could be because the cubicles. I think that when I do walls here instead of cubicles, it solves the problem. Which is really weird because the noise reduction is really high. And it seems to be very crippling. Like if we didn't have those cubicles, we would just have like no productivity at all, which is insane. It's just, and it's not. I would say that my complaint about this game is it's not apparent what you can do to fix it. Because if I actually look at our employee here, it was Nareen, I think. She's not telling us why she's really stressed. Her thoughts are, I really like Mary May. This coffee is great. I love working. This place looks nice. There's nothing to indicate what is causing her to be stressed. I find that really unfortunate. The game should tell you. This is like a very basic thing. Unless it's something really obvious that you should know. And clearly in this case, we don't know. I don't know. And I hope I'm not the stupidest person in the world that something is really obvious here and I'm missing it. Maybe that's just the case. Okay, anyway, well, we know we're going to have, okay, here's a horrible command line. We'll just accept this. And we have a bad command line. We can probably do both of them because we do have 2 people coming in today. Another bad command. We can probably finish all 3 of these. I don't want to be too ambitious, so let's start working on this one. Oh, boy. Yeah, that was probably too ambitious to do both of them, but No. Yeah, because it's already 4. That's okay. We can prioritize one over the other, and then we'll see how it works. There yet? I also want to add the productivity tool. When they arrive at 8, I need to stop this game. So that'll actually be probably the time where we stop doing this. Oh dear. Just got it in time. Okay, they've arrived. We're probably good here, so we'll develop that. We'll set this as a higher priority so we can get it out, because I think we'll get this one out anyway. So, productivity. I guess she had her... Oh, Noreen, she came back and she's not stressed anymore. So maybe she just loses all her stress when she comes back in. Or maybe it was a tick past midnight thing that I wasn't paying attention to. I don't think so. I think at 2 o'clock is when I paused, if I'm not mistaken. Very confusing to me, but let's get... Now you are for sure a programmer, right? Yes. So we're going to give you a calculator. Should help you out a little bit. I always hit escape to exit build mode. Not correct. Okay, good. So we're working on this one. We promoted this one. Let's get the typing done. And I think we did this one first. Okay, good. So we'll promote this. Now we can start, while they're working on this, it's a higher priority. I can start doing the minigame for this. We probably can get both of these out today. Okay, I see the other one is basically done. And we're done here, so we'll develop that. Release this. Minigame. Good day's work. Lots of contracts. Lots of good stuff. And that means, I guess, we're all set up for our next software. It's time. Let's not waste any more time. Whoops. Speaking of which, wasted time on doing that. And that should get itself finished rather quickly. Now these guys are currently both set into any role, and I do prefer that because even though like they're both not good at the other thing, look at the stress level just going up like crazy. Her stress is fine, her stress is fine. So what we might do is just the first experiment that we'll do next episode is I'll put only Noreen in her own room. I'll make this an actual room. And we'll see how she deals with that. If her stress goes down still, or if these guys' stress is affected, I don't know. Eventually we're just going to have them all in their own rooms. But then the problem is they start having no social. So it's like you really need them to work in 2 rooms at the same time. 2 different desks. Or maybe move them throughout the day. Half the day with social, half the day tucked inside. Now, I hear that it's getting a little noisy outside, and we've gone a little bit over 30 minutes already. So I'm going to call this video to a close. Next episode, we'll start looking at the CMS financial for our new development product. And I'll kind of show you about that. I'm pretty sure we're going to need a 2D editor, so we'll look at that kind of stuff. But thanks for watching this episode, and I'll catch you in the next.